A man takes the hunter qualification exam and shocks the world's top S-rank powerhouses, simply because he defeats the rising star of the hunter world using only basic hand-to-hand combat. This scene leaves all the examiners in disbelief. Even the strongest member of an S-rank guild can't contain her fighting spirit and wants to personally test his limits. But what they don't know is, the man is an invincible spear god who fought for 80 years in another world. Single-handedly, he defeated the demon king of that world. After completing his mission, he felt utterly exhausted. So he made a request to the goddess to preserve all his experiences and memories intact, then send him back to Earth. The goddess granted his request, but his body on Earth had already died, so she would place his soul into a new vessel. Then a beam of light crashed down upon me, and my new vessel was a body on Earth that was about to die. But the goddess believed I would certainly live a new life with that vessel. When I opened my eyes again, I was on Earth. That damned other world had tormented me endlessly. Now I'm back on Earth, and my new body is just a teenage boy. I turn on the kitchen faucet and find clean, unpolluted water, and with just a light press, I can make fire. This is the best magic. To hell with those mages from the other world. And this world even has my favorite fried chicken cutlet. The real texture moves me to tears. This is what real food tastes like. Fighting in the other world for a full 80 years, I never had a single decent meal. Now I can finally live in this world like a normal person. But at this moment, I don't notice the red glow appearing outside my window. I head to the bathroom and take a comfortable bath. Although I'm seriously out of touch with this world, I believe a beautiful life is coming my way. But at this moment, a ghostly face suddenly appears at my window. This startles me. How can this thing be on Earth? Then I hear a broadcast behind me announcing to all residents that a corrosion rift has appeared in the apartment complex. The broadcast tells us all to go to the underground shelter. I don't understand what this corrosion rift is or what's happening. Then I see a scene that completely shocks me. On my window, several of those humanoid monsters are crawling all over it. Their claws are about to break through my glass. The next moment, as they rush in, I run out. It seems Earth is no longer the Earth I knew. I must figure out what's going on. And these humanoid monsters, they look somewhat similar to the monsters from the other world. Soon I hide at the window ledge, avoiding these monsters. After they leave, I quickly climb out through the window. I think I should follow the broadcast instruction and head to the shelter. Just then, I spot a kid ahead. I'm about to take the kid and run, but he wants to turn back and find those monsters. The kid's face looks young, but his eyes are determined. He's planning to take down those monsters and asks if I want to join. I'm confused. Are kids nowadays all this brave? From the kid, I learned that Earth has been like this for a full 13 years. Corrosion rifts are portals where monsters emerge, and no one knows how they form or when and where they'll appear. This depresses me. I went through hell to get back to Earth, only to find it's also become a living hell. I asked the kid who the strongest hunter is now. Hearing this, the kid quickly mentions Lee Se-eun's name. Lee Se-eun belongs to Kanabi Guild, which ranks in the top 10 on Earth. Her weapon is a greatsword, and she's currently dealing with a corrosion rift at the source. Even though there are powerful hunters in this world, an ordinary person actually fighting monsters still seems unbelievable to me. At this moment, I suddenly cover the kid's mouth. I tell him to be quiet, don't speak. Monsters are coming ahead. Looking carefully, there are 5 monsters ahead of us. But I know that although we see 5, there's one more hiding. Fortunately, this body seems to possess strength beyond ordinary people, so dealing with these monsters shouldn't be a problem. But I'm not confident I can protect the kid during the fight, yet I can't just leave him alone. As I'm thinking of a solution, I suddenly sense something familiar. In the air, there's some blue energy. This seems like mana. Now I'm certain. This is the same as what I saw in that world. The next moment, one of the monsters in front of us suddenly bursts into flames. And this attack came from me. Although the mana I accumulated for over 80 years is depleted, if there's mana in the air, I can gather it. This means I can still use the paradox eye engraved in my soul. The firepower is a bit disappointing though, but it should be more than enough to deal with these guys. After seeing this, the kid shows an admiring look. I didn't expect you to have a unique skill. With that, the kid wants to rush forward and kill these monsters. This leaves me speechless. The monster boss isn't even dead yet. What are you rushing out for? Sure enough, as I guessed, the kid instantly becomes the target of those monsters. This terrifies the kid. Fortunately, my hand grabs his arm in time. I tell the kid to hand me the stick on the ground. I need to borrow your weapon. The next second, 3 figures rush toward me at high speed. After I get the weapon, my eyes completely change. A loud sound of the staff cuts through the air. Then these 3 monsters are cut in half at the waist. At this moment, I regain the feeling of being the spear god. The boy is shocked beyond words by this scene. He thinks I'm not an ordinary person, but must be a hidden hunter. Little does he know I'm furious inside. The peaceful life I struggled so hard for has turned into this. Soon, with an unhappy face, I enter the underground shelter with the kid. The kid's mother immediately recognizes her child. She keeps thanking me. You must have saved my child. Thank you so much. Seeing the woman's expensive clothes, I'm a bit stunned. So this kid is a rich young master. No wonder he was so arrogant. At this moment, the entire building starts shaking. In just moments, a monster smashes through the door and breaks in. Everyone frantically runs away. Only I stand still. The kid turns and tells me to run. Even you can't beat this monster. But I still don't run. I thought I'd return to a familiar world, but this world is no different from the other world. I asked the kid beside me, you're rich, so why become a hunter? Wouldn't it be better to find a safe place to hide and live comfortably? The kid says his father was killed. Originally, his family was hiding in a shelter too, but his father was killed by a monster while protecting them in the shelter. That's when the kid realized there's no safe place on Earth. So he's determined to become a hunter, the strongest hunter in the world, to eliminate all corrosion rifts and save this world. You might find my words funny. Before he finishes, I interrupt him. Though I'm smiling, it's a smile of relief. You will definitely become a great hunter. But unfortunately, you can't save this world. After I speak, the kid's mother keeps pulling him to run away. At this moment, a huge explosion sounds behind them. When the kid turns his head, he's shocked to discover the monster they feared has been killed by me with one hand. The reason I said the kid can't save the world is because I will do it. After all, I have very rich experience in this matter. After dealing with the monster, I return home to learn about the basic situation of this world. And I also discover my account balance is only 3,001. The original owner of this body was an employee of a logistics company, but the company went bankrupt due to corrosion rifts, so he lost his job. Just when I don't know how to make money to survive, I see a hunter recruitment message on my phone. Time flies, and soon I'm inside the Hunter Association building the next day. day. Today, a grand selection exam will be held here, and this competition attracts many hunter scouts who want to find newcomers to join their guilds. But one scout thinks there aren't any outstanding prospects among this batch of hunters, just small-time characters. And this hunter selection exam also attracts Lee Se-eun, a hunter ranked in the world's top 10. Everyone looks at her with admiration. This is someone you can only see on the news. Who'd have thought we could see her in person today? And they know Lee Se-eun's purpose for coming must be for Han Sanga, a hunter academy graduate who awakened electrokinesis. But what they don't know is Lee Se-eun isn't interested in her at all, at most seeing her as a mobile power bank. A colleague nearby says Han Sanga's ability could be useful. Then a man beside her adjusts his sunglasses. Even those who excel in the academy often fail to achieve good results in actual combat. Lee Se-eun agrees with this, so she gives a candy to her colleague. This is a praise candy. Actual combat and training are completely different things. For academy students who've only experienced safe training, enduring real combat is difficult, so Han Sanga needs a long time to adapt. Soon, the matches below are about to begin. Lee Se-eun watches below with interest. I hope to find a good prospect this time. Newcomers, show me the strength that makes me want to have you. The host is surprised after seeing the contestant's information. He's actually a civilian who hasn't even attended Hunter Academy. Meanwhile, I zip up my combat suit, holding a weapon in my hand. The host is still mocking him, wondering how much courage he has to dare stand on this stage. And now entering is contestant Ho Chan-sok. Actually, I'm still not quite used to this new name. The rules of this match are only use weapons provided by the association and don't cause fatal injuries to your opponent. I'm thinking that with this hunter exam, I need to use this as a springboard to gain higher authority. The blonde guy across from me looks arrogant, seemingly not taking me seriously at all, as the referee raises his hand high. This first exciting match is declared to begin. The moment the match starts, the blonde guy immediately rushes forward. He's really excited that his opponent can't even gather mana. Yet facing his fierce momentum, my face shows no expression. Because in my eyes, the blonde guy is full of openings. The next second, I stick the weapon in my hand into the ground. Then, under the blonde guy's astonished gaze, I completely disappear from his sight. This makes the blonde guy wonder, could he be a speed-type hunter? By the time he reacts, I'm already behind him. Your spearmanship is pathetically clumsy. I don't even need a weapon to deal with you. The next second, I punch him in the stomach. This one punch almost makes the blonde guy throw up yesterday's meal. However, as his body is about to fall, I stomp him back up. Then a fierce uppercut shatters his jaw. The blonde guy, who was so arrogant just now, is barely conscious. This actually stuns me. I knew he wasn't my match, but he goes down way too easily. And the reason I'm attacking barehanded is because I'm afraid the spear would injure him badly. Then I think about it and relax. He must just be a rookie. This shouldn't be the average level of hunters. But this scene shocks Lee Se-eun on the spot. What's the deal with this guy? She immediately flips through my file and finds out I work at a logistics company. A colleague beside her tells her this young man has almost no accumulated mana in his body. To produce such great power, he would need to accumulate mana for a long time. But if that's not the case, then this result must be due to his luck. But his words only get a shut-up response. In Lee Se-eun's eyes, she guesses I'm deliberately not accumulating mana. And on the field, I roll my neck. I'm a bit uncomfortable, but to prove my ability, I should decisively defeat him. So I walk to his side. I raise my fist high. Blonde guy, don't worry. This punch definitely won't be fatal. But at this moment, the blonde guy is already scared stiff, continuously begging me for mercy. With a bang, I knock him out with one punch. This scene makes many hunter scouts start discussing me. And while other scouts discuss me, Lee Se-eun decides to personally test my strength. Her companion asks where she wants to go. Lee Se-eun simply replies that she wants to see the association president. There's something she wants to ask him. Meanwhile, my battles continue. But the results are all the same. They can't withstand 3 moves from me. I don't know what this hunter academy is even teaching, how they turn out so useless. Finally, after I've defeated several people, a decent opponent appears before me. As soon as she appears, people immediately start discussing her. And she is candidate Han Sanga. Everyone is curious whether she can stop this mysterious super rookie's winning streak. I just glance at her and immediately become interested, because this girl has gathered the most mana of anyone I've seen today. Han Sanga talks big. You've made it this far purely by luck, but there won't be any more luck from here on. I sneer inwardly. Did the Hunter Academy teach you these cliché lines too? The next second, Han Sanga slowly draws the blade in her hand. Her eyes burst with golden light. You probably don't have special skills, right? But that doesn't mean I'll hold back. Her words make me pause. How could I not have special skills? I'm just afraid using them would hurt you. She takes a long breath. Then her body quickly crouches and bends. Near her hand, an air current seems to be gathering mana. Golden lightning appears on her blade, the entire sword trembling slightly. Seeing this, I become somewhat interested. The next moment, her figure suddenly charges out, and that cyan light bursts forth. However, her painstakingly gathered quick draw slash doesn't harm me at all. I simply leap up and dodge it. Han Sanga is completely shocked. He actually dodged it. He dodged her lightning quick draw slash with just a jump. In midair, I find it somewhat interesting. By running electricity through the scabbard and blade to magnetize them, then adding magnetic force to the draw, converting it into a railgun. Moments later, my figure lands steadily on the ground. So far, your skill is the best, but you missed the most important point, which is thinking about when to strike. You're too focused on rapid attacks. Han Sanga's mistake is that to accelerate her attack faster, she laid a magnetic track in the air. So no matter how fast or strong she is, no fool would meet an attack with such an obvious trajectory. Han Sanga is somewhat unwilling, thinking I must have gotten lucky just now. Then she quickly draws her sword and launches fierce attacks again. Even without that move, I can defeat someone like you. However, to her disappointment, I can easily dodge her attacks. You're really an idiot. I can dodge even your fastest attack. How could I possibly be hit by such simple attacks? My words completely enrage Han Sanga. Her brain no longer knows how to think, filled only with anger. In this rage, Han Sanga launches her strongest strike. I can see at a glance that she's forcing herself to gather powerful mana. If she continues, her body will collapse. With a swift movement, I arrive in front of Han Sanga. Your moves just now were very cool, but let's stop here. Before I make my move, I tell her with interest. If you feel pain, raise your left hand. Then with a thud, I punch her hard in the abdomen. Although I don't use full strength with this punch, I still make Han Sanga spit blood. Seeing this, I throw continuous punches, relentlessly attacking Han Sanga's face. Finally, I land a heavy heavy punch on her face. After taking this punch, Han Sanga's consciousness becomes hazy. With a thump, this highly regarded newcomer doesn't defeat me. On the contrary, she's defeated by me. This scene shocks everyone present. He actually suppressed Han Sanga. She's a top student from the academy. Due to my obscurity, others think Han Sanga is just all show, assuming she must have relied too much on mana and neglected physical training. At this moment, I hear movement behind me. I thought Han Sanga still wanted to continue fighting me, but when I turn around, I discover she's just raising her left hand. Her whole body is in a dazed state now. She probably can't even stand up. This makes me find it somewhat amusing. I told her earlier to raise her left hand if it hurt. I didn't expect she'd actually raise her left hand. Truly a good student. At this moment, a staff member quickly walks toward the referee. That person whispers a few words in the referee's ear, making the referee's frown deepen. Then the referee announces to everyone present, the match schedule has changed. Winner Ho Chan-sok, please rest briefly. His words make me somewhat confused. Didn't I already finish the match? Why am I told to rest and prepare for the next one? And the referee's next statement answers my confusion. Shortly, winner Ho Chan-sok will have a special match with an active hunter. This match has received special permission from the association president. This match has been arranged. Everyone looks at the name on the big screen. Seeing the audience so enthusiastic, I think this must be quite an experienced hunter. Is she voluntarily stepping forward to test my strength in this special match? Similar things happen in that world too. At this moment, the sound of a sword scraping against the ground echoes in the arena. Your name is Ho Chan-sok, right? I'm Lee Se-eun. Let me confirm whether you have any other skills. I feel this stage is really too small for you. Are you interested in having a match with me, Ho Chan-sok? If it feels too difficult, you can refuse. I understand. After all, this is rather sudden. Seeing who it is, I can't help but smile bitterly. It's actually Lee Se-eun, the one the kid mentioned before. She's ranked in the world's top 10. And the aura and composure she's emanating right now, this is definitely not a bluff. She's a true professional hunter. With my current body, even with a spear, it would be difficult to handle her. However, for some reason, a smile curves my lips. Since you want to test my strength, then come on. This makes the referee beside us slightly stunned. Don't you need to rest? Lee Se-eun sees the fighting spirit blazing in my eyes. It seems you and I are the same type of person. At this moment, I also show an excited smile. Let me see if the strongest in this world can earn my recognition. The next second, we burst into fierce combat. Our battle shocks everyone in the audience. Even the referee's face breaks out in sweat. He doesn't even know how to commentate. At this moment, I block Lee Se-eun's attack again, but my face shows no ease. Because I sense this woman's strength. How can a woman's body possibly possess such powerful strength? This is no less than a man's. The next moment, to escape Lee Se-eun's fierce attacks, I spin the spear shaft in my palm and seize the opportunity to deflect her attack. I used full strength in this attack, causing Lee Se-eun's body to continuously retreat. However, Lee Se-eun still has plenty of energy. She's just testing me, so she hasn't used her full strength. Compared to earlier, my speed has already dropped significantly. At this moment, I've been fighting this S-rank hunter for a long time. Fatigue shows on my face. This woman isn't without openings, but this body simply can't combine with my combat awareness. Lee Se-eun is truly excited now. She hasn't seen a strong fighter like me in a long time. Although we're not on the same power level, I truly deserve the title of strong. She's thinking she can have a battle after so long, but she feels I seem tired. Then Lee Se-eun steps forward and says, "You've done quite well. I thought you could only last about 5 minutes. I didn't expect you've already lasted 30 minutes straight." The next moment, Lee Se-eun's body rapidly charges toward me. "Since you already feel tired, let me make it easier for you and let you come down and rest early." Seeing this, I can't help but grip my spear tighter. Now I have no stored mana in my body, and there's not much mana in the air either. I take a long breath to calm myself. I didn't want to use this move, but now it seems I have no choice. Meanwhile, my body quickly leans back, preparing to receive Lee Se-eun's next round of attacks. My eyes fixate on Lee Se-eun. As soon as she shows an opening, I'll use Paradox Flame. When I use Paradox Flame, Lee Se-eun's eyes fill with shock, but Lee Se-eun ignores this attack, directly slashing down with her sword and cutting through my attack. I know I didn't hit Lee Se-eun, so I quickly retreat to maintain distance from her. Lee Se-eun's face shows a satisfied smile. Her strike just now clearly left him unable to dodge, but she didn't expect I could still avoid it. "And what is that black energy on you? You just used this black energy to attack me, right? But it was cut off by my sword." I slowly speak. "This is Paradox Flame. This ability is my final trump card. Back in that other world, this was my frequently used specialty. This power is also what I trust most. This black flame is different from ordinary flames. The reason the clothes are still intact is because this black flame cannot burn matter. Instead, each flame burns using abstract concepts I designate as fuel. With my current output capacity, I cannot ignite concepts with higher ignition points, like self-memory or rationality." The next moment, my figure charges forward fiercely, spinning the spear in my hand with a whoosh. "What I can burn now is only my fatigue." This shocks Lee Se-eun. "Your speed seems to have become even faster than before. Could you have been hiding your strength in our battle just now?" I ignore Lee Se-eun's words. My body moves as if teleporting, arriving in front of her and quickly thrusting with a spear. Lee Se-eun's eyes are full of disbelief. "You actually recovered your strength in such a short time. How did you do it?" As Lee Se-eun's words fall, her body also disappears from the arena. With a whoosh, Lee Se-eun, like me, arrives in front of me at teleportation-like speed. We both swing our weapons simultaneously. The clanging sound continuously echoes in the air. But the more Lee Se-eun fights, the more something feels wrong. She finds it very strange. The mana concentration in the air keeps fluctuating. The arena setup hasn't changed, so there's only one possibility. And the reason for this is my Paradox Flame. Just as flames release energy when burning matter, Paradox Flame also releases mana when burning abstract concepts. I use mana to ignite Paradox Flame, and Paradox Flame burns my fatigue to produce more mana. This is an endless cycle, because after burning my fatigue, I'll use fatigue again to produce Paradox Flame, repeating this over and over. In other words, my specialty is prolonged battles. The longer the fight, the weaker the opponent becomes, while I always maintain a half-fatigue state fighting the opponent. At this moment, Lee Se-eun suddenly appears before me, making a sword-swinging motion. With a clang of the sword, Lee Se-eun's strike just now directly shatters the arena floor. However, this strike doesn't hit me. Lee Se-eun slowly raises her head. "Do you still want to continue?" I slowly walk out from the dust. At this moment, I'm like someone desperately clinging to another's leg, refusing to let go. I chuckle. I'm prepared to fight a war of attrition with you. You're actually telling me to give up. I can still keep going. Don't you know that? I start taunting Lee Se-eun. I wonder if someone like me who doesn't know when to advance or retreat has earned your favor. Lee Se-eun's eyes show a weary expression. The reason she's like this is because she's been suppressing her strength to fight me at roughly my level. If she were really serious, she could probably defeat me in one move. I think no one would like someone who doesn't know when to advance or retreat. When you ignite a tree, only ashes remain. Ashes that have already burned cannot be burned again. Similarly, Paradox Flame also leaves residue. If everything is burned until only ashes remain, that will be the moment Paradox Flame disappears, which is the end of my life. Lee Se-eun looks at the timer in her hand. A total of 4 hours and 17 minutes. At this moment, I've been completely beaten down by Lee Se-eun. She speaks to me. You've lasted a long time. Do you still want to continue fighting? However, I directly give up. Please spare me. If we keep fighting, I'll really die. Due to my forfeit, the winner of this match is Lee Se-eun. At this moment, Lee Se-eun pulls out a lollipop from her pocket. When they see this lollipop, her subordinates are all stunned. Lee Se-eun tosses the lollipop to me. Besides the lollipop, there's also a business card. This is my reward for your hard-fought match. I put my business card in too. Remember to call me. I pick up the business card and look at it. It says, Team Partner Headhunter Lee Se-eun. Lee Se-eun quietly says to me, we'll discuss details later. Call me after you've rested well. 2.5 hours later, I bite and crush the lollipop Lee Se-eun gave me. I'm amazed by the smartphone in front of me. Back in my time, the only proof they could give me was handwritten paper certificates. But this phone not only proves identity, but also has apps specifically for selling used equipment, plus messaging and calling functions. This reminds me of the other world I stayed in. It feels a bit like long-distance communication magic. At this moment, a massive man appears before me. You're Hunter Ho Chansuk, right? You look much more handsome in person than on camera. This guy is definitely over 2 meters tall. And after this person finds me, he also hands me a business card. It says Taeback Limited Liability Company. His name is Yi Sung-gyun. His purpose in finding me is to have me join his team. If I accumulate enough experience under him, he thinks I'll definitely shine. I look up at his expression. He doesn't seem to be lying. But Lee Se-eun's expression suddenly comes to mind. Her face seemed to show a slight blush at the time. She told me to definitely contact her after resting well. So I put away Yi Sung-gyun's business card. After all, I already have a prior commitment, so I can't give him a definite answer now. So I say, I need to think about it before making a decision. This action makes Yi Sung-gyun laugh heartily. You think I'd require you to answer immediately? I'll give you enough time to think. I thought he was an easygoing person, but then he grabs my shoulder. At this moment, I stare directly at his unfriendly eyes. He tells me to think carefully and says he believes I'm a smart person. After saying this, he leaves, leaving me standing alone in a daze. And the reason I'm dazed is because I didn't expect him to be so direct. Now I definitely won't go to his guild anymore. I won't even consider it. 10 minutes later, I call Lee Se-eun. I ask where I should go to find her. She sends me an address, the cabin on the 2nd floor of the Hunter Association. She tells me to just go up and find her. After arriving on the 2nd floor, I indeed find a shop called The Cabin. The clerk is extremely happy to see me. After all, I'm a rising star now. Welcome to the cabin. The person inside has been waiting for you for a while. Seeing my arrival, Lee Se-eun turns around and waves at me. Lee Se-eun didn't expect me to arrive so early. Did something happen? I tell her about what just happened. Someone wants to recruit me to join their guild. A massive guy. Lee Se-eun's expression remains calm. The person you're talking about should be Yi Sung-gyun from Taeback Guild. Since Yi Sung-gyun himself is interested in you, other guilds naturally won't dare to have designs on you anymore. After hearing her words, I chuckle. Does even your guild fear him? If that's the case, then I'd be very disappointed. However, what I didn't expect is that Lee Se-eun actually doesn't plan to recruit me. What do you think about work that doesn't belong to a guild? I mean, as a freelancer, this interests me. It seems Lee Se-eun is a bit different from others. She means I don't have to join a guild to do guild missions. Lee Se-eun knows Yi Sung-gyun probably plans to give me a junior position. Hearing this, I slap the table. He's only giving me a junior position? Then what is a partner hunter? So next, Lee Se-eun explains to me. Hunter ranks belonging to guilds are usually 3 types: junior, senior, and partner. Junior and senior hunters belong to teams led by partner hunters. You can view them as salaried employees. Partner hunters own guild shares rather than fixed salaries. They can share in the company's net profits. Perhaps they can be more intuitively viewed as business owners. This sounds exactly like a law firm. Lee Se-eun heard before that the hunter who initially established the Hunter Guild modeled it after a law firm. She thinks I don't necessarily have to join a guild and climb step by step from junior to senior to become a partner hunter. I understand what she means. As long as I gain enough reputation and achieve respectable accomplishments, they'll naturally come looking for me. This makes Lee Se-eun very happy because she feels communicating with me has no barriers. However, what puzzles me is why she keeps giving me candy. She's already given me 2 since I sat down, but I have neither connections nor resources. How can I get decent commissions? It feels like this would be very difficult. Lee Se-eun says this isn't a problem at all because she can help me in this area, and it's free. This makes me even more confused. I don't believe there's such a thing as a free lunch, so I want to know, why are you doing so much for me? At this moment, Lee Se-eun reaches into a folder. In the future, when you accumulate enough fame and are recruited by a guild, I only hope you can remember that a woman once helped you, so I can understand she's doing this to have me owe her a favor. At this moment, Lee Se-eun slowly pushes the folder in her hand toward me. Do you want to look at this? But whether you do it or not is up to you. I open the file and take a look. This is a commission from Inchan City. There's a place called Gyodong Island, where they attempted to clear a corrosion rift 2 years ago. But they failed, and a corrosion zone formed there. I originally thought she wanted me to clear the corrosion rift. Turns out, she wants me to patrol Gyodong Island, check for any additional corrosion gaps, and eliminate them. The mission is scheduled for 1 month from now. She'll pay me 5 million upfront, with an additional 15 million upon success. I toss the documents onto the table. This is life-threatening work, and the payment isn't exactly generous. Lee Se-eun shows an excited expression. If you think it's unfair, then get stronger and make a name for yourself. That way, even when your pockets are full, money will still flow in. Lee Se-eun just wants to know whether I'll accept or not. I speak slowly. Since you put it that way, I'll accept. Because I'm someone who likes pushing limits. 30 minutes later, 2 cars are speeding down the highway. Lee Se-eun is on a call with a mysterious man. She introduces me to him. Ho Chan-sek is a civilian. He passed the mandatory weapon championship with his bare hands. The voice on the other end gives a not bad evaluation. Hearing this, Lee Se-eun laughs out loud. That evaluation is a bit inappropriate. He fought me for a full 4 hours. At this, the voice on the phone sounds incredulous. Are you serious? Wasn't it because your power was suppressed? Lee Se-eun gives a cold laugh. I'm a veteran hunter with over 10 years of experience. All my experience comes from surviving hellish places. By rights, I should have been able to toy with him easily, yet I fought him for over 4 hours. Lee Se-eun speculates that even if she were reborn, she'd probably never see a monster like me again. But no matter how highly you rate him, doesn't that mission clearly require hunters with experience? Even if his skills might be excellent, can he perform when teamed with veteran hunters? On this point, Lee Se-eun tells the person not to worry, because she's assigned someone with enough experience to stay by my side. Then the person asks Lee Se-eun a question. What if that kid reaches your level? Lee Se-eun sneers, though saying this might make you uncomfortable. If Ho Chan-sek reaches my level, perhaps even the boss won't be his match. Rewinding to 1 month ago, I ordered a package online. The delivery man keeps complaining that this thing is heavy as hell, wondering what on earth was ordered. After delivering my package to the door, he moves on to the next delivery. After the delivery man leaves, I open the door. A long black case now sits on my table. This is the weapon I ordered online. With a click, I flip open the case's latches with both hands. The moment I see the weapon, there's shock in my eyes. This weapon's appearance is truly incredible. From every angle, this spear meets my expectations. If I fight with this spear, there shouldn't be any problems. There's also a canister of green potion. I heard this is an elixir. So-called elixirs are potions hunters use in emergencies. They contain concentrated mana and are extremely useful when mana is urgently needed. The typical way of handling mana is similar to drinking from a water dispenser, controlling atmospheric mana, storing it in the body, and using it when needed. This elixir allows hunters to complete this process in a short time, though my way of using mana differs from others. I skip the storage step and absorb and use mana directly from the atmosphere. The advantage is that I use mana from the air, so there's no limit. Additionally, during the absorption and release process, the channels through which mana flows gradually strengthen, allowing me to wield more mana. However, there's a drawback. Before these channels grow, the amount I can control is small. This makes it difficult to produce powerful output in a short time. Since I don't have time to wait now, it seems best to store some mana before use. I drink down the mana potion in 1 gulp. If I train like this for about a month, I should be able to grow to the level I need. Time moves to 1 month later at Inchan's Gyodong Island. A long line has already formed here. These are all hunters participating in this operation. After the staff confirms my information, I'm assigned to Team 8. Soon, I arrive beneath the sign marked with the number 8. In contrast to my silence, the others are chatting enthusiastically. This month's pay should be pretty good. Wonder when we're heading out? While I'm meditating and resting, I suddenly hear someone calling my name. I turn to look and it's actually the rising hunter star Han Sanga. She seems to have cut her hair much shorter. Looks like she's realized that long hair in combat can be grabbed by enemies. This time Han Sanga comes to me wanting to cooperate on this mission together. I ask her why she wants to cooperate with me. There are so many people here and you don't ask them. The reason she wants to cooperate with me is because she thinks I'm strong. During our cooperation, she can observe and learn my fighting style. This leaves me speechless. Looks like I'll have another burden. I probably can't shake her off in the short term. If you can keep up with my speed, then follow me. At this moment, the staff member interrupts our conversation. Since all members of Team 8 are present, he'll explain the mission. We also have hunters participating for the first time, so I'll explain the terminology. I ask experienced hunters to please bear with me. Currently, corrosion rifts are classified as grade 1, grade 2, grade 3, and unrated. The closer a rift is to grade 1, the higher the danger level. Additionally, corrosion rifts appearing for the first time in a specific area are designated as alpha. The alpha corrosion rift on Gyodong Island is currently located at the church in northern Insari. Although it remains an unrated corrosion rift, considering that corrosion rifts can strengthen at any time, we urge you not to approach it. Our mission is to patrol within the management zone and Gyodong area, identifying and eliminating any additional corrosion rifts that may appear. Dissatisfied voices emerge from the team. You're actually sending a newbie to execute elimination missions? Are you kidding? But the staff member doesn't respond at all and directly leads us to the destination. As soon as we arrive, I hear someone saying, "This place is dangerous." Even standing far away, they can feel that bone-chilling energy. They feel like their blood is about to freeze. This makes me think they're being too dramatic. At this moment, Han Sanga taps my thigh with the back of her blade, signaling me to get moving. The mission has already started. The staff member shouts, "The situation on the island is being reported to the offshore control room, so if you need help, please contact them." Hunters, I wish you all the best. After we arrive at the destination, the group starts organizing to make a plan. The mission is to survey 2 areas within a week. At this moment, my voice interrupts their planning. I point at the map on my phone. I think we should set up a base at Hwaseo Temple and operate from there. This scene makes several people very dissatisfied. Who are you? Never seen you before. You're a newbie, right? More importantly, why should we go to Hwaseo Temple? And don't think you can order us around, newbie. I ignore their rudeness toward me and explain based on the current situation. From Hwaseo Temple, you can see the entire area. The old temple building is still there, and we can use it for lodging. This should be common sense. Don't you all understand? What I didn't expect is that after my suggestion, they actually blow up. There are many places nearby to stay. What if we climb the mountain and get surrounded? I give a cold laugh. We're not fighting thousands of enemies. How could we possibly get surrounded there? But my retort makes their reaction even more intense. No matter what, we won't follow orders from an inexperienced hunter like you. This makes me feel that every world has fools who defy logic. So amid our arguments, a decision is made. We'll just split up. You do your thing, we'll do ours. I originally thought only Han Sanga would follow me, but unexpectedly, another person joins our 2-person team. I discreetly size up the man beside me with a sidelong glance. His mana level seems slightly higher than Han Sanga's. I remember he's called Kim Min-jae. I'm curious why he's following us. However, the answer I get makes me laugh. He says, "You two should both be executing missions for the first time, right? I'm worried 2 newbies acting alone will run into problems, so I came to watch over you." This makes me feel there's at least one reliable guy in the team. At this moment, my gaze turns forward. I've already sensed something's wrong, so I sharply pivot. Then under the astonished gazes of the two, I raise my left hand, telling them to wait. I make a silencing gesture at them. I tell them not to make a sound. I'll go check the other side. Kim Min-jae cautiously pokes his head out to check the surroundings. What he sees are dozens of monsters running through the forest. He thinks there are too many, about 50 monsters. He suggests we take a detour. I raise my hand, telling him to stay calm. Don't panic. What's your unique skill? However, he doesn't answer my question. You're not thinking of fighting them, are you? His words make my expression serious. Hunters fighting corrosion creatures, isn't that natural? I'll ask you again. What exactly is your unique skill? Then I learn his ability is flame. His most confident skill is fireball. Good. Then next, follow my signal. Attack those monsters first. At this statement, Kim Min-jae is completely dumbfounded. He didn't expect me to so decisively launch an attack. He can't quite follow my train of thought. Just as he still can't follow my thinking, he hears Han Sanga say, Kim Min-jae is in charge of attacking. What should I do? Kim Min-jae wants to stop our actions. 3 of us facing 50 enemies is way too reckless. And didn't you say this is your first time executing a mission? We should regroup while we can still contact other hunters. I indicate they won't make it in time, because from their position to here, the time consumed is simply too long. They're different from us. We departed directly from Hwaseo Temple. The other hunters are searching for other rifts along the coastline. Another point is that rashly calling them via radio isn't wise, because there's no guarantee hunters who hear the signal will come to support. Moreover, if these monsters scatter while we're waiting, they might pose a threat to other hunters. Kim Min-jae calms down and analyzes the issues I've mentioned. He realizes I'm absolutely right. And even if hunters happen to be nearby, they might not rush over immediately because of our earlier conflict. So this means only we can deal with these monsters. In this relatively unfavorable situation, what we need to do is launch a surprise attack. So your fireball is crucial. Right now, I don't have time for nonsense with Kim Min-jae. I directly explain my tactics to them. First, Kim Min-jae attacks the center with fireball. I'll block both sides to prevent them from escaping. After hearing my task assignment, Kim Min-jae is deeply shocked. Such detailed strategy, it's as if he's already seen all the possibilities that will unfold in the future. Kim Min-jae feels I'm like a leader who's experienced countless battles. What kind of person is he exactly? After waiting a while, we finally get an opportunity. Many monsters have gathered together. Taking advantage of this moment, Kim Min-jae instantly casts fireball. The next moment, caught completely off guard, a massive ball of flame strikes them. Kim Min-jae's fireball is overwhelmingly powerful. In just an instant, it burns several monsters to ashes. He needs some time to prepare the next fireball, and during this time, I'll block the attacks for him. At this moment, Kim Min-jae brings both hands together at his brow, continuously gathering power. The next moment, my figure moves. The speed is unimaginably fast. My eyes are full of killing intent. The urgent priority now is to stall these monsters, then let Kim Min-jae gather another fireball. With just one charge and slash, I kill several rift monsters. To achieve maximum effectiveness, division of labor is essential. So right now, I must consider my teammates until the next fireball is ready. At this moment, a monster attacks me, but I simply ignore its attack. A horizontal slash of the spear in my hand takes out several monsters. I won't let these monsters get near Kim Min-jae. However, I alone can't hold them all back now, so I must rely on Han Sanga's strength. At this moment, I speak. Your turn. The next moment, a loud sound of a blade being drawn rings in my ears. With just one strike, Han Sanga cuts through 3 goblins. She takes a deep breath. Mission complete. Now it's up to Kim Min-jae. As Han Sanga's voice falls, a massive fireball suddenly erupts. This is the scene of Kim Min-jae's fireball ready to launch. I tell him to wait. Wait until I clear out before you fire. Otherwise, it'll be bad if you hit me. The next moment after I leave, Kim Min-jae fiercely launches the fireball in his hands. This fireball is like an unleashed beast, rapidly charging toward those monsters. With a boom, a massive explosion erupts at my previous position. I had already jumped clear when the fireball descended. Immediately after, I gripped the spear in my hand. The instant the fireball fell, 2 monsters tried to escape, but how could I let them have their way? Moments later, the smoke in the forest gradually dissipates. I thrust the spear into the ground. The surprise attack plan just now was very successful. Though we annihilated them all, we also consumed a large portion of our stamina. I'm about to say everyone did very well, wanting to praise the 2 of them, when I notice something's wrong behind me. I turn to look and find Kim Min-jae has already aimed his handgun at my head, and his expression is very serious. But immediately after, he stares at me with a smile. Could you move aside? You're blocking my target. This leaves me speechless. I thought he was going to shoot me. The next second, Kim Min-jae instantly fires 2 shots, hitting the monsters. This is implanting microchips into the monsters. Once the mission ends and safety is secured, the scrap collectors contracted with him will come to collect. So-called scrap collectors are those who directly recover byproducts from corpses. So after we implant these chips, when the mission ends, those scrap collectors will come process the corpses and collect everything valuable. Then they assess the value of these items, sell them, and distribute the profit. They take the commission agreed upon in the contract, and the rest goes to deceased hunters' families. I ask Kim Min-jae if those people are trustworthy. He says to be completely at ease. Finding good scrap collectors and contracting with them is important. Just as we're chatting, a monster is hiding in the trees staring at me. The next moment, this monster suddenly attacks us. Debris on the ground is sent flying everywhere, and I, in this instant, grab Kim Min-jae and escape from the spot. Otherwise, both of us would definitely be severely injured. After escaping to a safe distance, I toss Kim Min-jae onto the ground and turn to look at that monster. Kim Min-jae is somewhat speechless. Just dealt with a large batch of monsters, now another one appears. At this moment, that monster chuckles, opening wide its disgusting teeth. My expression becomes serious. Looks like this monster should be the leader of those small monsters from before. The monster roars once, and the entire forest echoes with its voice. Who knows if it's summoning its minions? I curse silently. Damn it, you should have just charged with your minions earlier. Why wait until now to challenge 3 of us alone? Asking for death, this leader monster's mouth emits a kekeki strange laugh. I sense mana from it. Compared to the previous small fries, it's not on the same level at all. I loudly call out to the other 2 team members. I tell them absolutely not to interfere. I'll deal with it myself. I sense this monster's power is very strong, strong. If it chases us, none of us will escape. The two are somewhat stunned. Such a powerful monster should be fought by 3 people working together, but my voice interrupts them. I'll say this once. Retreat now. Do you want to go home with your heads separated from your bodies? At this statement, the 2 people are instantly frozen in shock. That's too terrifying to say. I shake the spear in my hand and tell them, you'd better listen to me and leave here quickly. I can handle the scene better alone. Because I can fight with full force without any concerns. I roar, come at me then, you damn bat leader. Soon I'm locked in battle with the bat leader. Han Sanga wants to step forward to help, but is stopped by Kim Min-jae. We shouldn't help him now. That would only drag him down. And though it looks like he's being suppressed by the bat leader, he actually isn't, because the bat leader's attacks haven't hit him at all. Not once. They haven't even grazed his clothes. Besides this, Han Sanga also notices something. My speed and keen observation are astonishing. If it were me fighting, I probably couldn't dodge the spear. At this moment, I twist at the waist and dodge the monster leader's attack again. While dodging, I also launch attacks. Wherever my spear reaches, black flames inevitably follow like shadows. The more those flames accumulate, the slower the monster's movements become. So although my battle seems like a hard fight, this leader monster in front of me is completely being toyed with. This leaves Han Sanga completely stunned. Is he really a novice hunter like me? Why does it feel like he's a battle-hardened hunter? Meanwhile, the monster leader attacks me again. I chuckle. Good timing. Let me see if you can make me use my full strength. The next second, my body rapidly slides backward along the ground. Then I fiercely throw the spear in my hand up into the air. This shocks Han Sanga behind me immensely. This guy actually threw the spear into the air. What does he want to do? From an aerial perspective, at this moment, the spear is slowly falling. At the same time, that monster is attacking me. Kim Min-jae is also stunned. This guy actually threw away his weapon at such a dangerous moment. In a split second, this monster has already reached in front of me. But I'm not panicked at all. I just look at this monster expressionlessly. With a squelch, this monster's head slowly drops in front of me. Turns out the spear I threw just now was my final killing move. After falling, the spear directly pierced through this monster's neck. Though the spear has already pierced through this monster's neck, it can actually still move. This makes me marvel at this monster's tenacious vitality. But unfortunately, victory is decided. I must decisively end this. I absolutely won't give it a chance to turn the tables. Immediately after, under the horrified gazes of the two, I pull out the spear and repeatedly stab at the monster's head. Kim Min-jae is somewhat surprised. How did this happen? It clearly looked like Ho Chunsak was being suppressed, but in the blink of an eye, the monster fell. What exactly just happened? At this moment, I turn my head and call out, Kim Min-jae, is it really normal for monsters like this to appear here? On this point, Kim Min-jae also has some doubts. For an individual that isn't even a corrosion unit core, maybe if this is a corrosion zone, it should at least be rated grade 3. Turns out corrosion units are divided into 4 levels in total. In the briefing before the operation, I clearly heard that Gyodong Island's alpha corrosion unit was unrated. If that's the case, it seems Gyodong Island's alpha corrosion unit has already upgraded to grade 3. This situation must be reported to higher ups immediately. Han Sanga is somewhat skeptical of my speculation. I tell her to think calmly. If it's not grade 3, there's no way to explain the current situation. When I analyze this point, Kim Min-jae's face also loses composure. The gap between unrated and grade 3 is like heaven and earth. If this is really the case, the hunters who can return alive will probably be very few. It seems this matter really needs to be urgently reported to superiors. This island is simply too terrifying. So Kim Min-jae proposes an idea. Let's go rescue the other hunters first. With your strength, even grade 3 shouldn't be a problem. But I directly refuse him. How could I possibly find and save all the hunters wandering on this island alone? I have limits too. What I can't do, I say seriously to the two of them. Our mission isn't to rescue hunters in crisis. It's to confirm and eliminate all additional corrosion rifts that occur. And in this kind of work, it's impossible to expect no casualties. At this moment, Han Sanga has another question for me. If you were in that situation, what do you think you'd be like? This confuses me somewhat. If you encounter danger, wouldn't you feel wronged, resentful, and pray to be saved? This time my expression becomes completely grim. Are you going to save them with the mindset of the deceased? I'm not saying this because I don't understand the emotions people have. I'm only talking about results. If you want to go save them, I absolutely won't stop you. Put away that damn savior complex of yours. There are also unavoidable deaths in this world. Facing such deaths, no matter what emotions or thoughts I have, I would die with the mindset of accepting death. If I cause the rifts to worsen by saving a few hunters, leading to more people dying here, that would be my sin. So in desperate situations, you absolutely must not waver. If the two of them still execute missions here with this mindset, then they won't be able to survive in this world. In the evening, we find a place to rest. We find a residence. The entire building is empty, with no traces of other corrosion creatures having stayed here. After Kim Min-jae checks around, he finds nothing special. Just that this place is a bit dark, but fortunately, thanks to these lights, we can see the positions of other hunters. However, in my view, this light also exposes our position. This is equally very dangerous for us. If it's just some minions, exposing our position doesn't matter, but if we encounter monsters like that bat leader, that would be trouble. So I take out my phone and send a warning message to other hunters. This is Team 8. Considering the level of monsters we've recently encountered, the alpha corrosion unit may have already upgraded to grade 3. Casually turning on lights may put you in danger, so please avoid it as much as possible. If we destroy the corrosion rift's core, all creatures will disappear. Because without the energy released by the corrosion rift zone will vanish. I can't help but think. Seems like this mission is pretty simple. It's not as difficult as they said. I plan to destroy the corrosion rift when the time comes. Time quickly arrives at late night. Han Sanga has already fallen asleep at this moment. Besides her, Kim Min-jae has also fallen asleep. I slowly place the alarm device beside them. That equipment will sound an alarm when monsters approach, so I should be able to go over with peace of mind. After leaving the house, my figure swiftly moves through the forest. Fortunately, I confirmed Alpha's position during the briefing. This operation should go smoothly, but just at this moment, I sense something's wrong. There seems to be movement ahead, so I sharply stop and look ahead. I hear a familiar strange laugh. I felt things were going a bit too smoothly. So it's you again. The next moment, I use flame without hesitation. But when I turn my head, I find it's not the monster I imagined. The monster before my my eyes is one I've never seen. Its size is already many times larger than me. It's completely incomparable to the previous bat leader. On the other side, an emergency situation occurs at the Hunter Association Center. Team 5's partial hunter signals have been cut off. Presumed dead, this shocks the management personnel immensely, because he's received casualty information from other teams as well. Damn it, what's been happening since just now? He immediately orders subordinates to contact headquarters for support and send emergency help requests to hunters in that area. Then he receives another message. Someone is approaching the Alpha Core position. The leader immediately has that person send a message. Tell that person to stop immediately. There are extremely dangerous monsters ahead, but later they learn the person heading to the Alpha Center is actually Team 8's Ho Chan-sok. This means he's the first person to discover the corrosion rift core. The leader orders his subordinate to immediately connect to my terminal and confirm whether I'm still alive. After all, a corrosion core upgrade like this has never happened before. In all that chaos, he's the first person to discover and head toward the Alpha Core area. We must closely monitor him. Soon they connect to my terminal and find I'm fighting a monster. Rather than fighting, it's more like I'm running for my life. This guy is much more powerful than I imagined, and its speed is very fast too. Immediately after, the Hunter Center hears my voice. This monster behind me is way too powerful. I'm really lucky to be alive. Didn't the people you arranged here before conduct an investigation? Why didn't we receive any information, you bastards? When I get back, I'm going to shove the corrosion core into each of your mouths. My words make them want to mute my terminal. Just confirm he's still alive. Right now, my strength isn't enough to kill it. I can only slowly weaken its health, then finish it with a spear. But this monster before me exceeds my imagination. This guy shows no sign of going down. When fighting the bat leader during the day, I drew too much mana from the island. Its power is much weaker than usual. So right now, I can't leave the island. I need to hurry and find a place on the island to draw mana. At this moment, my eyes flash. Didn't expect to find what I need so quickly. I see a black hole in the ground ahead of me. I don't hesitate and jump directly inside. I turn my head and say to the big guy behind me, hurry up and follow me. I have something I want to check. On the other side, Hunter Headquarters has lost my signal, because I've already entered the Alpha Corrosion Core. Hearing this news, the leader's face turns pale with fear. Damn it. After arriving inside the core, I find it's much cleaner than I imagined. They said earlier that unrated and grade 3 corrosion cores don't spread that fast. How big are grade 1 and grade 2? Moments later, I clear the corrosion rift gap, and next I have to face this big guy. Actually, I'm not a very persistent type, but if this guy keeps provoking me, I'll get angry too. I slowly tighten my grip on the weapon in my hand. One of the biggest issues with Paradox Flame is that it spreads to all living beings except me. Even allies are no exception. This is the terrifying nature of Paradox Flame. At this moment, a monster appears before me. I thrust my spear forward fiercely, striking the monster's body. The monster lets out a shriek and falls silent. I chuckle to myself, job done. Then I begin absorbing the mana from the air. I draw the mana into my body and store it. The mana absorbed from the air spreads through every corner of my body, expanding my meridians and making them more resilient. I exhale deeply, and traces of mana actually escape from my mouth. This effect is absolutely astonishing, beyond my imagination. However, at this moment, a rift seems to appear in the sky. I glance at the sky without fear. Looks like there's more fighting ahead. Moments later, several monsters like the previous one emerge from that rift. Too bad they're a step too late. My body refinement is complete. I'm not afraid of them at all. Soon, 3 monsters charge toward me. I shake my spear. You mindless things. Don't you realize that numbers won't help you anymore? The next moment, these monsters are completely shredded by the mana I unleash. They can't even touch the hem of my clothes. My current strength is several times stronger than before, but still far from my power in the other world. If we're talking percentages, I've probably only recovered 1% of my strength. At this moment, a shadow suddenly appears behind me, preparing to ambush me. This feels wrong. When did this thing get close to me? Almost at the instant it attacks, I immediately create distance between us. This monster has a humanoid body with a rat's head. The core of a corrosion rift is on a completely different level. This piques my interest. I wonder how many consecutive hits I can land at this level. The next moment, my figure charges forward. The spear in my hands dances with tremendous force. I thrust forward, but the rat head before me blocks it directly. The rat head even taunts me. That strike was too slow. What it doesn't know is that, while my strike wasn't at full speed, it was packed with power. Its weapon now has cracks in it. I stare at it intently and slowly say, Twin Moon Spear, first strike, pierce. The next second, its body is sent flying by my mana, and I press the advantage. This monster doesn't even know what just happened. Twin Moon Spear is my technique. Along my attack path, a blue trajectory forms. That trajectory can perfectly repeat the first attack, and repeat it 4 times perfectly. If I attack along the trajectory, it's merely a simple technique of chaining 4 hits, but my attacks are completely different from these 4 stacked attacks, because my blue trajectory can attack the opponent autonomously. It's like a dual orbit object that's nearly impossible to evade. Facing this delayed combo offensive, I don't know what trump card this rat head could have to beat me. With a swoosh, the rat head is hit by me again. As long as it shows an opening, I can finish it instantly, and now is the time to end this. The next second, I continuously strike its body. Each of my attacks chains 4 hits, so its body is about to be shattered by me. Before long, only half its head remains. But it doesn't think simply disappearing will be the end of it, does it? But just as I prepare to continue attacking, a box suddenly appears in my hand. I slowly open the box. When I see what's inside the box, I'm completely stunned. Meanwhile, at the Hunter Center, everything is in complete chaos. The corrosion rift is spreading from the center of Gyodong Island, and teams keep losing signal, causing them immense panic. Watching this scene, the leader doesn't know what to do. This situation is completely unexpected. His eyes are filled with helplessness. Is this all going to end? Unless a miracle happens, we can only stand here and watch the hunters be completely wiped out. At this moment, a subordinate calls to him. The leader hurries over to look. The subordinate continues reporting. Message from the hunter who entered the Alpha Core Zone. He switches the message to the large screen. All channels can see my message. My message notifies them. Corrosion core signal disappeared. All corrupted corpses encountered by hunters confirmed, eliminated. Bodies confirmed vanished. The leader seeing this can hardly believe it. He's witnessing a miracle happen right before his eyes. At this moment, after completing the transmission, I also exhale deeply. I look up at the sky and notice there are quite a few stars. Most importantly, the air is very fresh, much better than in the other world. 2 minutes earlier, a large group of monsters was emerging from the rift. Han Sanga and her teammates engage in battle at this moment. She's already sustained multiple injuries. She can barely hold her blade anymore. But the next second, with determination from somewhere, she braces her arm with her right hand, forcing herself to grip the blade. Her eyes stare intently at the monsters ahead. Their numbers are many times greater than during the day. Most importantly, when they woke up, they didn't find me. At this moment, Kim Min-jae behind her calls out to her. Miss Han, do you think we can make it back alive? I'm getting a bit scared. Actually, it's no wonder he's not panicking, because there are so many monsters ahead. If these monsters attack together, they could trample them to death. Han Sanga glances back at Kim Min-jae. It seems he's reached his limit too. Although she doesn't know if they can make it back alive or how long she can hold on, she absolutely cannot fall now. The next second, an ugly monster attacks toward Han Sanga. Han Sanga's gaze is extremely sharp. She bends slightly, and the lightning power in her hands erupts directly. But immediately after, she realizes her legs have lost sensation. She doesn't know when this happened, but most importantly, 3 monsters are now charging at her. At this moment, Kim Min-jae is extremely anxious, but he has no strength left to provide support. The monster is about to bite down on Han Sanga's neck. Kim Min-jae wants to close his eyes. He can't bear to watch what happens next. But 5 seconds pass, and the imagined scream doesn't come. When they open their eyes, they discover a shocking scene. All these monsters before them have completely disappeared, turned to dust. The next day, I meet them at the Hunter Assembly Point on Gyodong Island. Seeing this scene, my face darkens instantly. I didn't expect so many people to be injured here. Did the corrosion rift go berserk while I was away? Everyone seeing my arrival shows expressions of surprise. Did you really clear a level 3 corrosion rift by yourself? But looking at my slender frame, I don't look like someone who could clear a level 3 corrosion rift. Walking forward a bit more, I find the members of Team 8. Kim Min-jae is truly shocked. He never imagined I would solve the corrosion rift alone. I let out a cold laugh. Let's just say my heart moved before my body did. All to protect my fellow hunters. Since things went so smoothly, I should play the good guy. I need to quickly shed my previous villain persona. At this moment, someone calls out to me from behind. He introduces himself as Park Jong-tae, branch manager of the Korean operations company. I glance at him and ask, "Are you the one who brought me here?" He asks me to come with him because the mayor wants to meet me. I don't even know how many times I've been summoned like this. Ordering people around seems to be a common trait of these old guys. Speaking of which, I remember something. The contract didn't mention compensation for clearing a level 3 rift. Since I'm here, might as well discuss the price. After I get out of the car, another man approaches me and greets me. The person introduces himself as Lee Big J, a cooperation liaison specialist. Walking along, he tells me, the mayor has been looking forward to this meeting. He was shocked when he received the Gyodong Island report at dawn. The mayor immediately had him arrange the meeting and canceled all his schedules just to talk with me properly. A rookie single-handedly destroying a level 3 rift is something that hasn't happened since the first generation hunters. I didn't expect someone had accomplished the same thing before. They must have been very powerful. Moments later, I successfully arrive at the mayor's office. A portly-looking man appears before me. "Welcome, I'm Park Ji-on, mayor of the city. My apologies for calling you out so suddenly." He invites me to his cafe, wanting to sit down and have a proper chat. As mayor of Inchan, the Gyodong Island matter had been a major problem for him. Having to deal with it by hiring expensive guild companies was too difficult. I drink a cup of tea and calmly think to myself, I really want to extort some money from this mayor right now. When he learns I'm still a rookie, he starts feeling proud of me. This confuses me. How did things suddenly become like this? Turns out Inchan is one of H nation's core regions. Thanks to Inchan Airport's excellent infrastructure, countless logistics flow through here. Additionally, thanks to the Free Economic Zone project, international cities like Songdo and Cheongna have attracted many foreign investors, making choices difficult. Huge amounts of capital flow through Inchan International City. Materials are transported through the airport. It will ensure your path as a hunter is smooth and unobstructed. At this moment, I interrupt him because I want to ask him a question first. Since you're providing such great support, I suppose I should give something in return? Like helping a mayor with declining approval ratings successfully win re-election? The mayor coughs. Your information is really well informed. Smartphones these days can do anything. I looked up information online. His term ends early next year. Observing the current situation, the general consensus seems to be that re-election hopes are slim. Cold sweat appears on the mayor's forehead. You're really direct. Actually, in the process of participating in this request, don't you need permission from the Inchan city government? Unlike the public notice, as a rookie I did need the mayor's permission to enter. If he handles it properly, he can go around claiming he discovered a genius. Looks like he wants to write me into his story and steal my credit. The mayor says thanks to the infrastructure mentioned earlier. As mayor, he maintains connections with many domestic and overseas companies. He presses his hand on a coffee package on the table. For example, this brand's model contract is about to expire, so I can put your face on the packaging. Not only that, there are many unlimited possibilities. But at this moment, I interrupt him. I must look very cheap to you. That's how you see me, isn't it? Hearing my words, the mayor's expression stiffens. He seems a bit unable to save face. I've watched the news recently. This world seems to desperately need a new face to change this gloomy atmosphere. My gaze changes instantly. What I mean is, what you claim you can give me is simply what I'll eventually seize myself anyway. Isn't that a bit unfair? The mayor has some other proposals, like safe and highly paid commissions he can provide me. But these proposals are utterly boring to me. I wave my hand at the mayor and prepare to leave. Please send my congratulations to the coffee spokesperson. Due to my refusal, that model can continue endorsing this brand of coffee. On the other side, inside a bridge tunnel, there are are two people here. One man speaks. The Gyodong Island experiment seems to have failed. The man kneeling on the ground can only apologize repeatedly. But there is good news. Hearing the words good news, the man's face shows some interest. The good news the kneeling man speaks of is a clip from the hunter qualification exam. It records video of me using paradox flame. The man watches the video and reveals a smile. Truly impressive, this rookie. After completing the Inchan Gyodong Island mission, the nationwide monthly hunter rankings on the first of the month are re-ranked. This is also the moment everyone eagerly anticipates each month. Regardless of age group, everyone looks forward to this ranking's release. Everyone is curious who will be number one this month. We hunters also pay close attention to this ranking. Usually, the ranking changes aren't too significant, just providing entertainment for the public. But this time is different. Soon, this ranking is delivered to Hunter Association President Moon Jong-tae. President, this is September's World Hunter Ranking Report. Please review it. Additionally, Lee Se-eun, far away on the battlefield, also pays attention to this ranking. She really wants to know if I made the list. At this moment, I sit in a chair looking at this fresh ranking. Despite all the flashy displays, the most important part is still the top 10. Soon, I click into the ranking interface. Rank number 10, Swordsman Lee Se-eun. Rank number 5, Throwing Blade Kim Chae-hyun. Rank number 3, Fire God Choi Yoyuk. Rank number 2, Monstrous Strength Jang Taesok. Just as I'm about to look at number 1, a knock comes from behind me. I turn to see it's a staff member from this venue. Sorry to keep you waiting. You can go out now, and I am number 1 on the ranking, Rising Star Ho Chan-sok. Above the title, there's a line that says, I've set the fastest level advancement path in history. A 5-year veteran hunter clearing a level 3 radiation zone alone might be considered ordinary. In the hunter community, this is just a routine operation. But if this is a rookie hunter's first mission, everything becomes completely different. When I step onto the venue stage, people below cheer enthusiastically. Mr. Ho Chan-sok, what was your profession before becoming a hunter? Did you really clear the corrosion zone without backup? Did you foresee that the zone level would increase? Countless questions keep flooding toward me. I sigh deeply. I feel like one of those kids on talent search TV shows, so I want to answer their questions quickly and leave. Soon, a young man stands up and loudly asks me, everyone is very interested in your future plans. Can you talk about your mindset as a hunter or share your determination? I won't say official lines like those people do. I won't say cliches like I'll do my best. What I want to say is, I'll let my results speak for themselves. You just need to watch my results with your eyes. After answering their questions, I board a helicopter. Below me is a massive black hole. A devastating battle once took place here. The person behind me explains, this scene is terrifying. The overseas situation is equally bad. After the corrosion zones appeared, most countries lost administrative capability, but each nation is different. This country avoided many devastating battles through certain measures. As for other overseas countries, they were submerged the instant corrosion zones appeared. Entire nations vanished instantly. Corrosion zones have 8 major danger zones, the world's 8 most dangerous areas. And that one on the right is Gonsalok, one of them. Turns out, several years ago, the Gonsalok corrosion zone suddenly appeared. Starting from the city center, a massive circle continuously expanded outward, and the speed was so fast people couldn't react. This led to that nation's destruction. Some people barely survived, but for those in a space that had become a corrosion zone, most were devoured before they could even escape. This nation's disappearance was like a speck of dust. Once the wind blew, there was no trace it ever existed. The president glances out the window and speaks again. Although national influence hasn't changed in the corrosion zones, the central government's internal power has been significantly weakened. I'm a bit confused. Although I've learned some intelligence before, what does this have to do with me coming here? A few days ago, Lee Se-eun from Taebaek Group came to visit me. He seemed very dissatisfied that you haven't joined Taebaek Guild yet. This reminds me of that big guy from before, but I don't take him seriously at all. But the president's next words freeze my expression. That Lee Se-eun actually wanted to know your address immediately. Although Lee Se-eun came aggressively, the president didn't tell him my private information. But Taebaek Guild's philosophy is survival of the fittest. Even I can't guarantee whether he'll try to force you to join them. This troubles me. Feels like I've gotten into some trouble. Although I don't take him seriously, with my current strength, I can't beat him at all. However, from your recent actions, you seem to prefer working alone. I indicate that my personality has always been like this. I don't like being bound by guild titles. The president hands me a bag. If you want to prevent their approach, you need to improve your strength. For example, by taking on major missions proposed by the association president. I knew this president had ulterior motives, but isn't he helping me for free? I want to know what return he needs, because I never believe in free lunches. However, the president's answer is somewhat familiar. He asked me to just remember that he helped me. This is a bit like Lee Se-eun. I reach out and take the bag. I need to remember everything inside. Besides, this isn't a losing deal for me. Since it's the president's mission, it's also beneficial for building my reputation. So what exactly do I need to do? You will escort a cargo ship from Busan to Nanning. Since we're in the corrosion era, transporting daily necessities isn't easy. When I see the so-called necessities, I'm completely stunned. There are Rolex watches, high-end porcelain, ginseng wine, and pu'er tea. Even more ridiculous, there's a luxury sedan. I want to know if the definition of necessities has changed in the past 20 years. The president says, for some people, these are necessities. I thought someone like you would understand, but his words stop abruptly here, wondering in his heart what he meant by 20 years. This makes me unable to understand. In a country where the central government has already collapsed, why are such garbage items still needed? Many countries are falling apart under the erosion of corrosion zones, but international politics hasn't lost meaning yet. So essentially, this is lubricant for maintaining relationships. This is outright bribery. If that's the case, I want to refuse. While speaking, I've already cut the seatbelt at my waist. Cold sweat appears on the president's forehead. Wait a moment. The Korean government considers this work extremely important. I reassure him. I haven't changed my mind. Being drawn into the center of politics as an individual is foolish behavior. Hunter Ho Chan-sok, you may sound a bit arrogant saying this, but you're just a rookie who just debuted. It seems excessive attention has already become poison for you. However, the next second, an incomprehensible expression appears on the president's face. The reason he shows such an expression is because I throw everything he gave me into the sea all at once. These so-called daily necessities are completely unnecessary to me. Instead, they make me feel a bit troubled. I stand at the helicopter door and turn to him, saying, "Thanks for the helicopter ride. I'll find a way to swim back to Seoul." These words instantly stun the president's face. He can't keep up with my thinking thinking at all. The next second I step forward and leave the helicopter directly. I leap up and jump into the waters below. The president immediately comes to the cabin door. Does he really want to swim across with his own strength? With a splash, my body creates a spray of water when entering the sea surface. This leaves the president speechless. Young people these days are really too impulsive. Time quickly arrives at evening. The scene before me is Inchan port. In one area of Inchan port, someone stares intently at the sea surface because he sees that sea surface continuously bubbling, feeling like something is about to come out from inside. The next second, a hand crawls out from inside, gripping tightly onto the mossy rocks at the shore. Then my entire body also climbs up. I brush back my hair. That really exhausted me. I thought I was going to die. Who threatens people like that? I turn my head and see someone actually standing here beside me. That passerby slowly says, "Although I don't know what happened to you, you must have experienced a lot." After climbing ashore, I clarify my goal. What I need to do now is accumulate my strength. I'll prioritize handling those troublesome lowest grade commissions that no one wants to accept and become a big shot. This way, I won't be swayed by anyone. Those high and mighty strong ones will eventually submit beneath my feet. Soon, I take out my phone to check mission details. One mission interests me a bit. There's a kidnapping case. The victims need help from association hunters. The estimated level of the corrosion rift is approximately level 2. I sit on construction machinery, watching the distant sunset, exhaling deeply. Looks like I'll be busy for a while. After I receive the mission to rescue fishermen, I decide to invite Han Sanga to execute the mission with me, because the hunter-class monsters this time possess tank-level destructive power. With my current strength, I can't complete it easily at all. Then I open my phone and look at this mission's summary. September 3rd. Fishermen from Jujip Island and Tongyang went out to sea to welcome the shrimp fishing peak season. However, an accident occurred during this fishing trip. Hunter-class monsters actually nested on the island and captured all the fishermen like prey. According to a survivor who narrowly escaped, the captured fishermen are still alive. Thus, this mission was issued. The mission objectives are to rescue the hostages and eliminate the rift monsters. If I succeed alone, I might even gain a hero story. It could increase my reputation. Although this is worth challenging, this operation is really too dangerous. I heard those monsters exist in different dimensions according to their levels. Level 3 monsters possess tank-like destructive power. Then level 2 monsters are like natural disasters. Level 1 monsters are even more terrifying, requiring an entire nation's strength to confront a single entity. While I worry about who to team up with to complete the mission, a figure suddenly comes to my mind. If it's her, there's definitely no problem. Time quickly arrives at the day of the mission. I carry my spear, waiting for the destination to arrive. At this moment, I hear a girl calling me from behind. This woman is my teammate Han Sanga. Ho-chan-sok, do you know how much longer until we reach the island? I check my own position. We should arrive at the destination in about an hour. I tell her to make sure to conserve her strength. When we arrive, I'll remind you. As I said, this battle will be even more difficult than the last one. However, Han Sanga doesn't seem to be listening to my words. Instead, she's interested in the armor on my shoulder. This is actually the Iron Wing Angel arm guard. From the aesthetic enhancement of the leather trim, this should be a limited edition. How did you get it? This armor was a gift from the scrap collector to me. But Han Sanga also signed with the scrap collector but didn't receive any gifts. This makes me show a contemptuous look. Isn't it obvious? We're not on the same level at all. I'm a rising star who's solo fought level 3 hunter class monsters, while you're just a rookie with the title of Academy Honor Student. Han Sanga's eyes show extremely unwilling expression. She swears in her heart she'll definitely become famous to show me. Several days earlier, I made a phone call to Han Sanga, asking if she wanted to team up with me to complete a mission. When she learned the mission summary, she broke out in cold sweat. In the last mission, she almost died in the level 3 battle. After waiting a moment, there's still no sound from the other end of the phone, so I speak up. Don't you want to become stronger? These words make Han Sanga's eyes show shock. When I went to execute the mission before, I personally heard what she said. I remember, didn't you want to learn combat abilities from me? If she still thinks so, I can teach her. And I dare guarantee that as long as she studies by my side, she can become several times stronger than now. I used this reason to persuade her to team up with me. Han Sanga has reasons why she must become stronger, even if the path to strength is extremely perilous. As long as she can become stronger, even if hell lies ahead, she won't furrow her brow once. Seeing the determination she radiates, I suddenly become a bit curious about her. I wonder what this girl has experienced. Before long, we see an unidentified object ahead. Both our expressions instantly become serious. There are 5 ships total. I'm puzzled about how to get over there. There are civilians there, so we need to cross silently. But while I'm saying this, a pair of shoes behind me suddenly floats up. I turn to look. Han Sanga is now floating in midair. I really didn't expect she had such a skill. Han Sanga laughs heartily. So there are things in this world you can't do. You can't even do something this simple. It's really hilarious. What she doesn't know is, while she's mocking me, my face is already darkened. Then I punch her forehead. Carry me and fly. And don't let water splash on my clothes. I just bought these. Suddenly I seem to sense something. Then look up at the ship ahead. I tell Han Sanga to block the nearest ship because I sense mana. It's releasing stronger energy toward the rear. Very dangerous. Moments later, Han Sanga brings me before a ship. What puzzles her is that there's actually a figure standing on this ship. However, at the same time, I step onto the deck. I tell Han Sanga to open her eyes wide and look carefully. That movement isn't something a human can make. What we see before us is a large group of zombies. With a thud, Han Sanga lands heavily on the ship's deck. I tell her not to land like that. It'll hurt your knees. Over time, your bodily functions will gradually decline. Besides, landing with such noise has already attracted those zombies over. Han Sanga seems not to care about these zombies at all. She steps directly on the deck, unleashing terrifying power. If she can't even handle these basic zombies, she might as well be dead. With several whooshes, Han Sanga unleashes terrifying blade energy, directly penetrating these zombies' bodies. I praise Han Sanga for doing well. Looks like these zombies' levels aren't very high, probably the lowest tier of second rate. In that case, Han Sanga should be able to handle these zombies easily. But the next moment, I'm almost hit by the electricity Han Sanga releases. I call her an idiot. You're consuming way too much mana. At this rate, you'll exhaust your mana quickly. For these low-level zombies, basic techniques are sufficient. Han Sanga is slightly surprised in her heart. Is the teaching starting now? I told her before that as long as I teach her, she'll definitely become several times stronger than now. This is also why she wanted to team up with me, so she should listen to everything I say. Han Sanga purses her lips. Since she used too much mana just now, she'll reduce it a bit this time. Then Han Sanga points to the distance and once again condenses powerful electricity, tearing apart a zombie's body. Although these zombies were all killed by Han Sanga, I feel she's still using a bit too much mana. You must control it down a bit more. Then I continuously instruct Han Sanga. After each attack, I make her reduce some mana. Han Sanga, under my guidance, is continuously able to better control her own mana. Han Sanga's childhood was very tragic, so she swore she would never survive as a weak person again. She must stop that endlessly spreading darkness. Thus becoming strong became her only path. At this moment, a zombie rapidly lunges toward Han Sanga. Just as the zombie's mouth is about to bite Han Sanga, a bolt of lightning rushes toward the zombie's body at extreme speed, so fast it can't be seen clearly. With a zapping sound, this lightning splits that zombie's body in half. The aura Han Sanga radiates at this moment is extremely terrifying. As long as it can make her stronger, she's willing to jump into the abyss.